Okay, thank you, voice. Okay, next facet, yeah, to take a look at is the timer facet. Designed for run user interface code at a specified intervals. Stops working when the view it was created for is closed. One more time. Defined in the facet element can be defined in the facet element of the view. Yeah, XML descriptor and has the following attributes. Here we have the facet, as you can see. Identifier should be added, yeah, if you need to add the subscriptions, yeah, to interact with this timer in the controller, of course, yeah. Then a single attribute which is required, by the way, is the delay. Defines timer interval in milliseconds, 1000, 1 second in this case, yeah. Then auto start, optional attribute. The default value is false, which means that the timer will start only when is its start method is invoked. So only if you inject, yeah, the facet itself, and then on button click listener, for example, you call the timer dot start method. Yeah, if this one auto start, I mean set to true, the timer starts immediately after the view opening. For some testing, for example, let's say for some feedback receiving, something like this. Yeah, I believe for some examination process, you can imagine, yeah, the auto start when you use, we can use auto start, for example, yeah. And the last one is the repeating. This is optional attribute as well. Turns on repeated execution of the timer. If the attribute is set to true, the timer runs in cycles at equal intervals defined in the delay mandatory, yeah, required attribute, of course. Otherwise, the timer runs only once, as many milliseconds as specified in the delayed after attribute after the timer start. So, if repeating false, then clicks 1 second and that's it, and then it's stopped. The facet supports two additional events. Of course, you can start this one explicitly, you can stop this one explicitly, yeah, programmatically, let's say, yeah. And for example, two events are supported. Timer action, yeah, uh, allows us to execute some code at the timer specified in the delay attribute only one time, or if you have the repeating true, when as many times as this delay is passed, so you can launch something explicitly, repeatedly, yeah, launch some code repeatedly. And the stop timer event allows us to execute some code after the timer is stopped. In both ways. For example, it was started not in repeatable way, yeah, so it's going to be stopped once, yeah, or you can stop this one explicitly as well, calling the timer dot stop method, yeah, on the facet itself. Okay, but it about the timer, by the way. The second facet and the last one for this section is the settings facet, yeah. uh, Saves the settings that the user has set for visual components in a particular view it was added, yeah, created this particular facet. The facet is not being added by default, neither to the lists nor to the detail views, yeah. And if you need this one, you have to add this one explicitly, manually. Of course, you can create the template for a view that's going to create this always, yeah. uh, to enable the settings saving for all components on the view, we can set the auto attribute to true, a little bit the same way as for the data load coordinator, yeah, dot loader coordinator auto through the settings auto through. So all the components that can have some settings going to be, those settings are going to be saved. uh, as well, we can explicitly enable saving to a particular components, yeah, component identifier users data grid, then components identifier, let's say generic filter, yeah, stuff like this. If necessary, if you have a lot of components, but you want to disable saving of settings for some of them, this is going to be exclusive way, yeah, let's say settings auto true, enabled for false, yeah, for a particular components. So let's take a short look at this one as well. In our view, my time entry list view, let's introduce the facet for the settings in an automatic mode, I believe. So the settings auto true, like this, Control S. So what's going to be saved? My time entries. I refresh this page a couple of times. Need this rejected the state to be at the first place, yeah. Need this date to be wider, need this description to be narrower, yeah, saved. Okay, then refresh, everything preserved, as we can see, saved. And even if I navigate to other view, then navigate back to this one, everything is still preserved. Where this is stored, as you can see, this is not in the URL. Then where? In the database, yeah, in a form of the entity user settings, yeah, this one. We now have only one recording in here. You can guess, yeah, that we can have a lot of them. And what in this one? The value itself. This is the JSON collection, yeah, at the first thing. Then the view identifier for which view this is created, for which view this setting created, for the time ts time entry my, for which user, for whom, yeah, for admin. Created at, and the identifier, those are traits attribute. And what's more interesting in here, you can export them, you can import them, yeah, those settings, and you even can edit them in the editor. For example, change the width and what is inside this value, the values, yeah, let's say identifier for the component for which these settings applied. Generic filter opened true, yeah, at the first thing. Then in this collection, JSON collection, the second visual component identifier, time entries, data grid, columns, key of a column, the name, let's say, yeah, of a column, status with 96 pixels exactly. So visible, true, flex grow, 0. Then next thing, key, date. So the order is important. Yeah, the order of a columns is preserved as well. Date, then goes a task, then spend time like this, like this, like this. Flex grow equals 2. So this is the way the question can appear as far as I believe. Yep. How can we erase them? Yeah, how can we get rid of those settings? There is no out of the box implementation of this functionality, but this is quite simple. Yeah, you can create the separate view. For example, in this view you can show all the user settings in a form of a table. Yeah, and to get rid of them, you should just remove those entities from the database. Remove those entities, yeah, of user settings. Filter using the current user, show them, then add the checkboxes, then add the remove button. So the same as for this one, yeah, remove for this single record. Go to the dimensions, and the appearance is the same, by the way, yeah, because it was created before, yeah. It's probably it was cached, even cached, yeah. So you should clean a cache. So Control F and F5 should drop the caches. Do not, by the way, my tasks, my entries. So clear those caches, yeah, and the appearance should be dropped if I clicked the remove button, by the way. User settings, not a single one present. Refresh, not present. It's, I believe that it was cached somewhere on the front end, so you should remove, yeah, those caches. So this is the way how to deal with them. Okay, that's it for the facets section, by the way. Yeah, next section, quite interesting one. View extension and creating custom view templates. Yeah, we already know about the extension, overriding of views, and we're going to focus mostly on the creating view templates, but let's go in order. Yeah, uh, extending existing views. At this particular point, almost all views we are dealing with are defined within the application code itself. Yeah, views that are not defined in the application are added using the add-ons. Yeah, or they are defined inside the framework core or framework security subsystem. Yeah, let's say yeah. For example, we can add some add-on for a pessimistic. Not going to add the add-ons, by the way. Yeah, why you should guess we are not going to because we are not going to recreate everything. Yeah, due to this single single menu mode. Let's do. You know what? I'm going to switch back to the composite mode. Back to the composite mode. Duplicates found. Text. Show me where are them. Project menu items conflicting with menu items inherited from dependencies were removed perfectly. Yeah, perfectly done. Duplications was found and removed. Let's try to restart the application, and we're going to check if everything going to be okay in this composite mode. Yeah. Mhm. Structure, those are hidden now, though as present as the grayish one since they are created in the add-ons. Yeah, and just added to the application by add-ons. Going to check if the appearance going to be different. Yeah, now they are in a separated menu items, as we can see: security, email, data tools, GMX console, finally, and the bin I promised to show you. This one, emailer. Yeah, emailer. All the properties you can deal with SMTP host, SMTP port, enabled. You can even send the test email to the particular address invoking this one. Not going to, by the way, yeah, since my our fake SMTP now is stopped. Okay, so think I'm going to add one more add-on. We should remember about this one. This add-on called pessimistic locking, yeah, used to deal with a pessimistic locking indeed. Pessimistic locking by Helmut. Install. Come on, do this. Okay, created. I'm going to restart the application once this importing is performed. So the dependency added, yeah, and the add-on changes are applied. Let's restart the application. Here we have the menu item, yeah, for the pessimistic locking. Have no idea why this now is taking as many time for too long. Yeah, in my opinion, the checking for 6 seconds for this generation of the liquid-based change log is a little bit too long, but doesn't matter. Pessimistic locking present. Let's wait until the application launched. Should be, by the way, launched at this point. Yeah, login page, perfect. Here we go to the login page. Then we are going to this pessimistic locking. Not a single entity supports the pessimistic locking. Yeah, at this point. So this table, of course, is empty. Yeah, but how can we change this one? How can we change this one? When I'm explained you, showing you the example of the extending data model, you should remember about this file inventory inventory control system. Yeah, in those project, I used to override the views from the add-on, and I'm going to do the same now. Yeah, how? The question. For example, I want to add new button, or I want to change the appearance of button, or I want to change completely the behavior of this view. Yeah, probably not completely, probably partly. Yeah, how is the main question here. We have the particular template for this new view. Yeah, and at the bottom we have the override an existing view, create new view which will be used in the application instead of the existing one. Yeah, new view optionally can be based on the previous view optionally. Yeah, okay, so let's do so. Next, the view to be overridden from the, let's say, pessimistic log, this one. Yeah, pessimistic log info list. Empty layout, the ways to deal with the layout. Three of them. Yeah, the first one is to create this new overrider view, yeah, with an empty layout. Not very good idea. Yeah, since this is going to be empty. Yeah, uh, then copy layout of existing screen or existing view. Yeah, uh, full copy of the layout. And the third way, extend layout of existing screen. You should remember I shown you this extend approach. Yeah, so we just deal with the original view identifiers, components, visual components, and add something to them. We do not have a full control where to add those new attributes. Yeah, new fields. Let's say they are going to be added to this referred component at the end. Yeah, the most powerful way is to copy the layout. Pay attention, please. This is important. Yeah, the identifier of a view is not going to be changed in any way. This is the same as the as is in the add-on ps log underscore log info list. But in the application, the descriptor name going to have a prefix ts, and the controller name going to have the prefix as well. Yeah. Okay, let's create this one. Created. The markup, yeah, the layout is copied. So this is completely the same. Logs table is a focus component. We have the loader, yeah, collection loader. As far as I believe, it should use somewhat load delegate. This is the controller. This view extends the pessimistic log list view, of course. Yeah, you should and can add the buttons declaratively, add the handlers, but the entire functionality of the original view is preserved, as you can see in this parent view class. Yeah, unlock. This is clear. This is the renderer. This is the lock name value provider. Lock info value refresh. So what about this locks DC? How it is loaded, by the way. Tasks DC set items logs service. Some particular service, yeah, is used. So this is delegated to the bin. Some bin. Let's check which one. Log manager, yeah, stuff like this. Not so important for us. What is interesting for us is that we have full control of the with this markup. What does it mean? I can change the actions, or I can change the buttons. I'm going to change the button appearance for the refresh button, by the way. Simple, yeah, simple example, but I believe that it's going to give you the way, yeah, how to do so. For example, I would like this refresh button to be primary button and to be the contrast button. Contrast. Let's check if the view going to be changed. This is the original appearance. Yeah, refresh. Now this button is primary filled with color. Yeah, and this is contrast button. So that's it. Yeah, about this one. Okay. Next thing then. Yeah, how we can create the custom view template with a custom facets, with the custom components, and so on. We have the way, yeah, to create our templates, of course, in this user interface view, new view, yeah, wizard, create Jmix view wizard. At the very bottom, I mean, in the buttons panel, we have the copy template button, yeah. We have a lot of the templates for different views, of course, for a blank view, entity list view, entity detail view, etc. Yeah, a lot of them. But we already had a situation where we created simple filter for an entity with a single field, or a couple of property filters, simple property filters. Yeah, if create a view using the standard list view template, it will create a view with a data grid and a generic filter. If we keep both checkboxes selected, of course, yeah. As a result, we will have to go and make some changes manually if we need to get rid of this generic filter, for example, yeah. Uh, it would be convenient to have some kind of view template that would contain, for example, property filter instead of a generic filter. So a simple list view, yeah, or a list view with a simple filter. We should be able to create our own templates. And of course, we can do so. Let's take a look at this designer. Yeah, we should here remember those steps. Yeah, we can select the entity to be shown in this list view. Then the package name, then the table type, the parent menu item, those table actions, yeah, are available. Then they create generic filter checkbox, then the multi-select, column reordering, recycle all columns. Here we have the use or not use the data repositories, and the names of the generated files. Okay, perfect. Next step, by the way, is the feature plan creating step. Yeah, not going to there right now. When you select some view, you should create the template. Of course, yeah, you can create the template based on a blank view, but this is going to be a little bit more complicated. We are going to take check an example of the entity list view. Yeah, copy template. Click list copy the directory name for template. So this is going to be placed in some particular directory. Yeah. Okay. Not list copy, please. But let's do something like I just mentioned. Entity list view with simple filter. Yeah, like this. Okay. Okay. Clicked. Yeah. This is going to be still opened. You can create copy additional templates, yeah, if you need, but we do not need, by the way. So where is the directory? Where is the directory? The directory is in the root of a project. This called the studio templates. Yeah, and inside this one we have the flow UI directory, and inside this one we have the entity list view with simple filter. And by the way, this directory is immediately populated with some files. The flow UI has this template settings XSD. Yeah, so you can check which settings are available at all. Yeah, the entire amount of those settings, their types. Yeah, text type, for example, we have the restriction base string, for example, we have simple types, yeah, and stuff like this. Check out this file if you need. Yeah, and inside the entity list view with simple filter, our new template directory, yeah, we have 4 more files. By the way, going to add them all to git add, yeah, so you can have them, yeah, in the repository. What are those files, by the way? Controller.java. Controller.java. This is a file which going to be used as a template for generating the controller, Java controller file in the end. Yeah, what are those? This is the markup. Yeah, let's say this is the definitions which the Groovy template engines understands and which Groovy template engines is going to use, while this one is going to create a controller. Yeah, plural form, table DL, some generators for the plural form for the entity list, for example. Yeah, so task going to become tasks. Yeah, something like this. Then imports. Yeah, uh, is application route layout now, not now. Yeah, so we're going to add the route annotation. Yeah, then we're going to have the view controller annotation. We're going to add the view descriptor annotation. If use data repositories is checked in the wizard, then we're going to add the auto-wired annotation. Yeah. Then collection and list for the in the case if the data repositories should be used, stuff like this. Here we have the class comment, we have the route, view controller, view descriptor, lookup component. Yeah, so all the imports, then all the annotations that are going to be added, the dialog mode going to always be added, yeah, to this view. I can remove this one, can change the width, can make this additional assignments, yeah, let's say to this controller. Then the placeholders which are going to be filled by the Groovy, yeah, view controller name, extend standard list view, of course, for the particular entity that's going to be selected as a first step, yeah. If use data repositories, then additional code, this part going to be created. So this is going to be the load delegate, and this going to be the remove delegate. Yeah? In the case of the using of the data repository. Quite simple one, yeah. Then the next one is the controller for the Kotlin. Kotlin, yeah, as you probably know, the Jmix supports Kotlin as the programming language. So this is the same ish, but in Kotlin. Yeah, let's say the controller file template. Yeah, you can change, of course, anything you need additional beans, add them. Yeah, need something else, add this one in this file for the controller. It's important. Yeah. Okay, next thing, the descriptor. Yeah, a little bit red-ish one. Yeah, still groovy code in here, as you can see. Definition, plural form, table identifier, table DC, table DL, all those are definitions, so they are created in this way. Yeah, so those are suffixes as we usually see, DC, DL, and let's keep this for now. Yeah, let's take a look at this settings XML file. What is this file for? This file defines the wizard itself, the wizard. What we should select, what we must select in the process of creation this particular view. Yeah. So what do we have here? This is the template entity list view. Of course, going to rename this one immediately. Entity list view with a simple filter. Yeah, like this. Order 10 going to keep the icon that going to be used. I mean the icon that is present in this new view creation process. So this is the entity list view. This is the icon. You can provide the another one. Yeah. For example, resource template browse SVG. Place this one in the application. Provide the another one. Tag entity, tag GPA. Then the description. Entity list view displays a list of entities in the data grid components. Includes a simple property filter. Yeah, so description, what's shown in this wizard, I mean here. Entity list view displays a list of entities. Yeah, can change the description, of course, if need. Then localized messages, how to link the titles, yeah, with the method bundle, for example. Then the steps. Two of the steps are available. We know about them already. Yeah, first step is to populate these required attributes, entity list view. So the entity must be present. Yeah, so this wizard view, yeah, is a first step. Second step going to be entity list view fetch plan order 0 order 1 clear. The description list view fetch plan, this one for the second step. Yeah. On the data grid component can change this one as well. Then the property first entity code entity property type entity required true must be selected. Then use data repositories advanced true not required. This is the checkbox we can see in here. Yeah, advanced. Yeah, here we have this one. Okay, advanced true. Then repository if selected, then advanced true could be selected as well. Some dynamic attributes are in there. Use data repository. If we select the advanced repository, use data repositories, those going to become required, visible, enabled. Yeah, something going to be uncollapsed. I mean, what do I mean? This view, entity list view, use data repositories. Then we have additional thing visible. Yeah, repository, the drop down from which we should be able to select. Yeah, the repository itself. Okay, then the next properties. Entity fetch plan implicit declaration for which step is this property for step 1, which in our case is the second step. Yeah, of course. Okay, then required true must be provided. Then table type required true, property type flow table type, related property entity table type clear. Hierarchical property, if you select the tree data grid, then you can provide this property. Then table actions, multi-option, which can be found somewhere, I believe, in this second file. Yeah, template settings xsd. So multi-options, those checkboxes for add, create, remove, exclude, yeah, stuff. Then create generic filter. This is code is create generic filter. Check, yeah. So we can select to create or not create. So this has default value true. Yeah. The property type is boolean and preferences true. Yeah. Do not need the generic filter to be available in this wizard at all. So I remove this one, as you can see. Then for the multi-select, for the column reordering, for the resizable columns, yeah, all those boxes, then those additional information for the descriptor name, yeah, for the controller name, yeah, for the view identifier, or for the view route. Uh, of course, those should be changed. Why? Because now, when we are going to start to use our template, our custom template, we're going to create them with list view. Yeah, in the same way as they are just created for the regular list view, and we are going to be forced always to manually change them. We can change them on the level, yeah, let's say, of the view template. So I'm going to do so. Simple list view going to be the descriptor name. Then the controller name going to be entity class, for example, task, not list view, but simple list view. Yeah. Then view identifier, for example, simple list. Yeah, like this. And for the view route, API plural form entity uncapitalized class name. Then, for example, dash simple. Yeah, that's for the route. View route layout, advanced true. Yeah, okay. Caption parent menu item property flow menu item. Yeah, this is drop down list for those parent menu items. And the file ext descriptor xml, file ext java controller, file ext extension of a file, the controller, but in Kotlin, as we can guess. Yeah, okay. So we almost finished with this settings, yeah, the steps of the present in the wizard. But of course, we are here because we wanted to add this property filter. Yeah. So I need additional property for this one. Which property this is going to be? For a property filter, you should remember we can pass the parameter, the entity attribute that should be used in this property filter. Yeah. So let's deal with this one. What we're going to have here? The caption. Caption in a wizard was going to be present in a wizard. We are going to add the filter property. Filter property. Yeah. Code of this one was something that is going to be used later. Yeah. Where? In the descriptor template in this file. Yeah, is the descriptor template. Now I'm going to create this code. Filter property. Filter property. Perfect. Then the property type, as you can guess, we are going to allow the users only use strings. Of course, you are not limited with this approach. Yeah, you can add the different filters if you need. So create those templates a little bit differently based on the fact what you need in the result. I need the as a result, yeah, the view descriptor that's going to have the property filter used for a string property, yeah, of an entity, property type string, and of course we are not going to create the not valid property filters, so we need this to be filled, required true. Okay, closing tag goes in there, and that's mostly it with this settings.xml file. The settings, how we're going to create the descriptor and the controller. Yeah. Okay, let's go to the descriptor then. What do we have in here? Let's check this groovy code table XML. Yeah. Actions, search table, action, entity fetch plan, stuff like this. Yeah. Then here finally starts the descriptor code itself. So this is the XML version 1.0 encoding UTF-8. Yeah. Then the view starts here, ends, of course, at the end as it usually does. Yeah. Then the namespace for the flow UI view, then the additional namespace for this C conditional. Yeah, you should remember about this one, GPQL condition. Then the title with a placeholder, message keys, view title, then focus component table identifier, yeah, which is going to be generated in a process based on our selections. Which actions do we need and stuff like this. Then the data component, yeah. Collection table DC, yeah, that's going to be generated. Class entity FQN. If is inline fetch plan, then add the fetch plan, inline fetch plan, yeah. Then the loader table DL with the name, then the CData, select E from entity name E, the placeholder for a query, then the loader closes, the collection closes, the data closes, then the facets. If you need additional facets for settings, let's say, yeah, we can add them manually, of course, yeah, in the facets section. This file is not, by the way, as you can see, not very valid XML file because this has a couple of errors, yeah, 122 of them, by the way, yeah. So we can add them manually. Settings, yeah, for this particular view, facet settings, let's say auto true. So this is going to be going to have the settings facet switched on by default. Yeah, this view probably should rename. Yeah, so this is entity list view with simple filter and settings facet switched on, but not fall too deep, yeah, to those namings. Then the actions, select action, discard action. If you do not need this one to be used never, yeah, in lookup way, let's say, yeah, then remove them, those actions, and remove those buttons panel for those lookup actions. Then check if create generic filter, then create generic filter. Simple, yeah. We decided that we are not going to ask user about the generic filter creation at all. We are going to always create the property filter, yeah. So let's get rid of this one then. Yeah, starting with this if, and to the end of this if, yeah, close removed. Yeah, then is going to be straight table. As you can see, table XML creation call. I'm going to put the property filter in there. Property filter from the snippet, by the way. This one is simple one, created such filters a couple of times, as far as I remember, 5, probably more. Identifier filter, yeah, this identifier, of course, should be used in the URL query parameter, but do not need this check anymore. As just mentioned, this check is going to be removed. This closing part of if statement going to be removed. That's going to be not a generic filter, but a property one. Yeah, property filter component identifier to be a filter, just a filter like in here. Yeah. Can I move this one? Yeah, I can. Okay, like this. Identifier filter supported this one in the URL query parameters immediately. Okay, then data loader table DL going to be generated based on the entity name, as we already know. Yeah, and this definitions def table DL entity uncapitalizes class name equals plural form, then plural form or collection DL, plural form DL, stuff like this. Yeah, table DL going to be put in there. Filter property is something that we declared, created in the settings here. So this is something that user going to type, provide us with during the creation in a wizard. Yeah, let's say, okay, filter property, then operation contains clear, then label visible false. Yeah, as we usually do. So this is not created by the let's say property name, something like this. Yeah, name contains, instead of this, we putting the text field inside our property filter. Yeah, with the identifier filter field, placeholder start typing. The regular one can be applied to any entity attribute. Let's say, yeah, start typing, clear button visible, yes, and then the prefix icon search, and that's it. This filter is going to be created. And by the way, yeah, that's it for the entire process of the creation, yeah, of the custom template. And what is more interesting, this one is available already. We have to do nothing, not restart the application, not refresh the Gradle, yeah. And what when we go in the Jmix panel, in the user interface, new view, we have a tab, additional one, project templates. Yeah, we just create screen templates, project templates. Yeah, here our view, entity list view with a simple filter. Entity list view displays a list of entities in the data grid component, includes a simple property filter, everything that I declared for this one. Yeah, then next. The appearance a little bit different, nothing to do with the generic filter, as we see. Yeah, let's create, for example, for a task type. Yeah, the data grid going to be created, the package going to be the same, yeah, whereas the regular one is present at this point. I mean, the regular task type list view. Then the filter property, something that we created explicitly in the settings XML, our property we created. Yeah, as far as I remember, this should be a name. In this case, of course, can use the description, for example, but they are not filled. Let's not do so. Parent menu item, timesheets. Then the table actions, absolutely clickable. Everything is okay with them. Yeah, can create, edit, remove. For example, not generic filter. We get rid of this. You should remember. Yeah, multi-select can be provided out of the box. Let's say column reordering, resizable columns, simple stuff. Then our task types, simple list view, not too correct. Yeah, should add this dash before a simple word. Let's fix this. Settings, at the bottom we go. At the bottom we go the descriptor name here before this simple word, so they are not do not stick to each other. Control S. Then user interface one more time. View, project templates, entity list view with a simple filter, task type, the attribute to be used in a property filter name, column rewarding. Now it's more correct. Descriptor name, and this is not duplicated, by the way, as you can see. Yeah, task types simple. Next, the second step, feature plan, still still a simple entity, as we can see. Yeah, has only two attributes. Next, task types simple. Create, add this to Git, of course, and let's take a look at this newly created view. Then we have created using our own custom template. Yeah, task types simple. This is the view. This is the filter. The filter is working, as we can see. Yeah. What else? What else? For example, let's clear this one. I need this description to be as wide as this. I'm sorry about this one. And for example, that's it. Yeah, by the way, not too many to change. Yeah, in this view, but this changed already. Let's make sure that settings facet works just under the trunk. Entity inspector. So user settings, we have couple of them. Yeah, I'm interested in this one for the Jmix console view, manages to be in info detail, ps log. Yeah, simple list, this one. Yeah, ps log info list. Probably, yeah, it's probably present in the those console and pessimistic logging and in the console, doesn't matter. But for our newly created template is added, as we can see. So this is the way. Yeah, extend the template, copy the template, by the way. Yeah, from this wizard, any template, and do with this template anything you want, by the way. Okay, so let's move on. Next thing is going to be about the generating and processing events in views, and what's more interesting and more important, between the views. Yeah, uh, until now we have been processing events inside views, inside them. Yeah, for example, subscribe to a button click, or a field value changed events. Yeah, so all those changes were within the same view, inside one class, inside a single controller class. Yeah, but of course it is often necessary to be able to handle events between views or global events. For example, a global event has occurred in the system and we want to react to this one somehow in the view or in the part of view. For example, what do we have to demonstrate? We have the my time entries, and some of the time entries can be rejected by some reason by the administrator. Mhm. Uh, when manager, for example, rejects some of the time entries, we are going to do as follows. We are going to show for the particular current user the number of rejected time entries, and where we are going to do this. Yeah, here, just in menu, here we're going to add this span component with a number of those rejected entities. Yeah, and we are going to make this to be red. Yeah, this menu is located in a main view, by the way, as we know. Yeah, so we can update instances of the time entry entity in the detail view or somewhere programmatically in the application. Yeah? So we have everything happening in different places, and the question how to track those changes, how to publish the information about such changes. Of course, we have stuff to do with this, and this is not something Jmix specific. Yeah, at this point of the event. And the reason, yeah, the fact, because Jmix is based on Spring, we can use application events in order to notify about an event that has occurred and to respond to it in different parts of application, in services, in components, yeah, and in views. And what do we have on the side of Jmix in particular? Yeah, we have this UI event publisher bin provided by the framework, which is able to deliver events to the user interface components, including opened views. Yeah, methods of this one. First, publish event for current UI. Publishes event only for the current UI. So for the currently active browser tab from which an event is sent. We of course can have a number of the tabs being opened. Yeah, one, two, three of them. Time entries, clients. Yeah, the my time entries. So this one is going to publish to only one. For example, here we have the button that creates an instance of the application and publishes this one. And if we use this publish event for current UI, then this going to be triggered only in this browser tab, not in this nor in this third one. Yeah, only in this UI, current UI. Next, publish event publishes event for all UIs in the current session, in the session of the current user. So the same button, but the different method call of the UI event publisher. All three tabs, all three UIs, yeah, going to be able to interact with this one. And the third one, I believe the third one is the most useful, yeah, and the most powerful, publishes the event for all user interfaces in all sessions of users specified in the username collection. If username collection is null, so this is not present, the event will be published for all the users, for all the user interfaces and all the current sessions. Of course, this is impossible, yeah, to publish something to the user that not working in the application, in the UI, so the session does not exist. Okay, perfect. So let's do to our task. Yeah, back to our task. We are going to create the event, yeah, and we are going to subscribe to another event to commit events, yeah, of the time entry entity. We are interested in the if the time entries were changed, yeah. We are going to check the change type, and if the change type is not deleted and the status is was what was changed, yeah, for the time entry, yeah, then we are going to publish the global event, yeah, and if it is deleted, we will publish the global event as well, yeah, and we are going to listen to this particular event in the application, I mean in the main view controller. Close all tabs for now. Let's go in there. First step, of course, going to be introduce the event itself. Create the event itself. So the timesheets, new Java class, just a regular class, yeah, in a directory event dot the name of our event, yeah, to be published and listened to time entry status changed event. Time entry status changed event. Perfect. Going to be a class. Okay. Of course, must extend application event. Extends application event. Yeah. Spring framework context application event. This must have the constructor matching super. Going to create one. Yeah, public time entry status change event object source super source, nothing more. Yeah, created and ready to be published and listened to. Okay, next step. Now you should remember about this opportunity. Yeah, to create the listeners using the studio tools. Plus, event listener. Couple of them are available. Three of types. Yeah, let's say entity, application lifecycle and authentication, we are interested in the entity event, of course, for the time entry entity class, yeah, going to be called time entry event listener, and the moment, let's say after commit, not going to change this time entry in any way, yeah, and I'm going to show you something else, how to deal with data with the transactions after the transaction was committed, yeah. So let's create this one, the listener created. This is the component ts underscore time entry event listener, and here we have the event, yeah, entity changed event, as we know. So what we're going to do in this one, first step, we are interested in the attribute changes. What was changed? Attribute changes, core event, yeah, to be called changes. From the event we can receive this one, event dot get changes, yeah. Next thing, going to check the change type. What happened with this time entry? Entity changed event, entity changed event dot type dot deleted, yeah. It is not something that happens with the entity event dot get type, yeah. So time entry was not deleted, yeah. And as well, we are interested in the fact that the status was changed. Status, exactly the status, yeah. So we have our changes is changed, and then as a string, yeah, meta property name, attribute name. Let's say we are interested in the status change only, yeah. We are not interested if the time entry now assigned to another user, yeah, or if the time entry now has other amount of spent time. We are interested only if a status was changed. We are not even interested in which way it was changed, but the fact that the status, this is something that was changed. So then we need the time entry, of course, time entry. Time entry that was changed. I'm going to use the data manager to load this one. Data manager, add this one using the constructor. Then load method event. This event does not have the entity, as we already know, yeah, but this event has the entity identifier, and this is something that we need. Event get entity identifier. Then using the particular fetch plan. Why? I would like to have the user loaded together with this time entry. Yeah, since I need this username to publish the event for the users. Yeah, so fetch plan builder goes in there. Then, for example, fetch plan builder add which property of the time entry we need. Of course, the user. With the particular fetch plan as well. Fetch plan built in this case, instance name. Yeah, that's it. We are interested actually only in the username, yeah, but let's load the user with the instance name fetch plan. Then we're going to publish the event, of course. Publish event. I'm going to pass the string in there. Time entry get username. Okay, perfect. Let's create the method stop for now. Going to be avoid method change checked, yeah, if the type, yeah, was not deleted and the status was changed. Of course, of course, if the time entry was actually deleted, yeah, we should get the username in the different ways, yeah, different way. If entity changed event type deleted equals event get type, yeah, in this case, of course, identifier of the user entity. Import. Yeah. I see. Import our company. Yeah. User class. User identifier equal the changes get old value. Changes get old reference identifier. Yeah. I think I say that this attribute name get old reference identifier, probably this one get old value. So this is looking like a new stuff. Yeah, in 2.5 I believe, at least. Old reference identifier. This is something new. Previously there was other methods. Yeah, get old value. Get old value. Yeah. Let's make like this, like it used to be. Changes dot get old value. I'm going to return the type. Yeah. And what we need the user. Like this. Going to be interesting. Probably this was changed a little bit. Going to check, by the way. Yeah. Get old value user. So identifier of user going to be returned. We remember that this event of entity changed event stores the old references as their identifiers. Yeah. Entity identifier, something that we're going to return. Going to check if we have this one. Yeah. If user identifier is not null, in this case we're going to try to load the user equal the data manager load user identifier goes in there. Yeah. User identifier dot one. And publish event method call. Publish, not publish. User get username. Like this. Probably should check if we were able to load the user, but if we are not able, yeah, then this method one, I'm going to throw the exception, and we're going to immediately understand what go wrong. Why we should check if we were able to load the user. By the way, yeah, this can be a situation when the reason why this time entry deleted is because at the first point the user was deleted. Yeah. And then, for example, by some situation, the time entries, all the time entries of this user were deleted in a cascade way, yeah, together with user. Then, of course, in this case, we are not going to be able to load this user. Even we have the identifier of the user can be removed at this point, but not to make this one too complicated. Let's continue. So what do we need? We need, of course, UI event publisher bin, yeah, and we need this one to publish event for users. Yeah. How? The event itself, application event to be published, new time entry status changed event, this one we just created, yeah, in the event directory, new time entry status change event, the origin object, yeah, the triggering object, yeah, something, this is this listener, and then collections singleton. We have only a single username, yeah, in this case username. So going to publish this one only for the user, which should be informed about this change, about this event, yeah, that something some time entry was changed or even deleted. Something else must be added in this case, because we have multiple calls to the data manager and to, for example, UI event publisher, this requires a transaction, of course, yeah, to deal with the data in the database. So we are going to start the new transaction for this entire method, yeah, entire method by adding the transactional annotation. Transactional. Inside this one, we're going to add the propagation. Yeah, propagation going to be requires new. Always create the new transaction once this method is going to be performed at this moment, yeah, before the method performed. Okay, created the publishing part, yeah. Of course, next step is to implement the listening side, yeah. In the main view, we are going to deal with this one. When we should listen to this one, when not listen, yeah, when we should check the number of users rejected time entries. At the moment when we log the user, yeah, in the application, so when the user is logged in the application, we should check and show this one immediately. And then second moment, let's say, yeah, it's when this is triggered, this publishing is performed. So okay, let's move on. Let's create the handler then init event when the main view is being initialized. Going to call the method update rejected time entries. Oh my goodness, something is happening in there as far as I can see. Compilation, hot deploy. Do you really need to compile as many files? Okay, doesn't matter. Method, yeah, create a stub for this one for now. What else? First step, yeah. Of course, the second case, we should change this counter of those rejected items and when we have this event published in the application. So we are going to create the event listener. Yeah, this is the Spring context annotation, Spring framework context event. We can listen this one. We can listen this one anywhere we need, of course. Yeah, not only in the views, but this is important that we publish this one using the UI event publisher. Yeah, so we are able to listen to this one in the user interface. I mean, inside the view controller. Yeah. For what? Going to be private, going to be void as well. Yeah. The name time entry status changed. CHAN changed. Perfect. Then the signature, of course. Yeah. What should we listen to? We should listen to time entry status changed event. Time entry status change event. This one. I don't like this white space, by the way. Going to be the event, not some load payload. Yeah, in this event we are not interested where it was triggered. We are interested in just about this fact it was triggered. Yeah. Okay, perfect. Next step, of course, we're going to count how many time entries are in status rejected at this particular moment for the currently authenticated user. We are going to use a load context for this. Load context for the time entry entity. Yeah, going to name this one as a context, yeah, or a load context, doesn't matter. Going to be an instance of new load context. The meta class required for this one, we already know that we can use the metadata bin to deal with this meta information get class for the get meta class for the time entry Java class. Yeah, so this is the first step. Then after this, we can set the query to the context set query string. Going to type this one. Yeah, select te time entry from ts underscore time entry te time entry. Yeah, where what the user, yeah, is the current username or the current user itself, underscore user underscore. Why do I use the underscores in there? I should use the dot notation, of course, yeah, for the entity, where username equal to well-known prefix, yeah, current username, like this, yeah, and the status is a particular one, yeah. Why is it became it should be te, yeah, time entry status is the rejected one. We remember, yeah, that in the database and this particular point for the time entry status, we are storing what? We are storing the strings. So rejected is the string, can provide just a string itself, or can use the enum macros. In this case, the status identifier is, in my opinion, self-explanatory. Rejected, like this. Yeah, for example. Okay. So that's mostly it. Then we need a value, long value. Yeah. Going to call this one count, and ask the data manager to get count. Yeah. Data manager dot get count. This can receive the value load context or the load context. We have the load context, yeah, created in advance, which called context. Okay, that's it. Next thing, what we are going to add and where we are going to add this thing. By the way, we are going to probably create a span component, span, which I'm going to call a badge, by the way. Badge equal null, not to create this one if this is not needed. How do we know if this one is needed? Yeah, if account itself more, yeah, than zero, more than zero. In this case, we're going to tell that badge equals new span Vadin component span, yeah. And this one we can use the parameterless constructor. We can the constructor that receive the components and that receive the text. We're going to use the last one using the just concatenation empty string literal, yeah, plus count itself. So this is going to be filled with a count. Then next thing, badge dot get element API. Going to discuss this one later. Get theme list, yeah, and we can add something to themes of this particular component. Going to add a badge theme. The badge string in this case is a theme. This is appearance of this span component. Yeah, how is going to, this one is going to looking, yeah, in the user interface, and going to add the error, yeah, since those dimensions are rejected. What else? Where we're going to put this badge if we have some rejected time entries, if we created this one, yeah, using this new, in this case, yeah, to menu, of course, menu should inject menu, which is a Jmix Flow UI component, main Jmix list menu, perfect. Then we can get the menu item using the identifier of this menu item. By the way, the menu items identifiers are equal to the view identifiers. The same. In our case, we need this ts underscore time entry dot my view. Yeah, this is the way. Then we can add the suffix or prefix component to the menu item. We're going to add the set suffix component, and our badge goes in there. Okay. What do you need from me? Invocation sets as component might produce null pointer exception. I hope that this was not going to replace objects required. Not no. Thanks. Not going to do so. Let's check out. Yeah. Then not there's need. We need to restart. I believe since we've created this event. Yeah, application event class, our particular event class, yeah, and create a listener. Not think that we need restart for a listener, but at least for this new class, yeah, so this can be handled in the application itself. Okay, the application started. Time entries, let me close those. Probably too early, but I'm going to reopen them anyway. Yeah. So compile, select count TE from TS time into TE, where T user current username and T status. Rejected. The basic mapping T status cannot be used in conjunction with the equal operator. The identifier variable rejected is not defined in the from clause. Okay, perfect. That's something I did not expect, by the way. Yeah, let's fix this one then. In conjunction cannot be used in conjunction. Probably. This is not the yeah. Okay, let's provide the macros then, yeah, and a fully qualified name. Rejected. Okay. Fix. Enum company timesheets. Yeah, probably I should just wrap this one in the string literal. Yeah, in those single commas. Yeah, company timesheets entity time entry status rejected. This is a fully qualified name of the what of the enumeration itself. Yeah. How deploy this one, please, for me. Should you? Yeah, now it's deployed, and as we can see, that's my time enters 2. This is the badge. Yeah, has this 2 value. Let's open this like I'm, let's say, an administrator. Yeah, some manager. So this is the incognito view. Here I'm going to the time entries list view, entire list for this particular user. Yeah, I'm going to reject this one. Rejected. Yeah, going to change this a little bit. Can you please be changed? Pay attention to this counter. Yeah, rejection reason. I am a but person. Yeah, this is the reason. In this case, okay, save. Immediately changed here, as you can see, and in here as well. Yeah, because this is, as you can guess, absolutely the same user. Yeah, but those can be different users. Yeah, or for example, some expiration time is added to those time enters, and they can be marked as rejected. Yeah, after some times. So this is the way. Create the application event. Yeah, then do something, decide when you want to publish this one, which on which circumstances, yeah, let's say, then publish this one, and then just simply listen to appearance of this one in the user interface anywhere do you do need this one. Yeah, okay. Should rejected be between single quotes? Yeah, indeed. I believe that it should be between those single quotes. So this is going to be as exactly as a string and the level of the SQL. Yeah, let's say, let's try, by the way. My telemetries refresh. Yeah, that should be the same. Yeah. No changes should be present in here. Let's make this one not rejected anymore, but approved. I'm begging, yeah, I'm begging you, like those song. So now are two of them. So this is good point. Thank you for this. I forgot about this one, by the way. So for now,
Can I
Bart.
ask one question, Dimitri?
Yes, of course. Yes, of course. Feel
In
free.
this time entry event listener, you had to add an annotation for the transaction.
Yeah.
I did not quite understand why we need this line.
Because because this is the we deal with the data, yeah, with the database in particular. So we load something, data manager, yeah, and the data manager load one more time, and this is the transactional event listener, and what's going to happen if we not add this propagation requires new, yeah, I believe that in this case we are going to be faced the exception. Why? Despite the fact that this is transaction event listener, this is after commit event. You know what, let's try without this one. I believe that it's going to try to join the transaction, and the transaction cannot going to be available, yeah, but probably this is enough transactional event listener. Yeah, I believe that I explained you that this one should be enough, yeah, for the event listeners, in particular after commit. So this should create, yeah, start the transaction itself. Let's check. Let's check. Mm-hmm. Okay, application launched. Log in. This must be triggered once I trying to change the time entry. Yeah, so going to be rejected. Going to have something working almost correctly. Yeah, what is wrong? What is wrong? They are rejected, as you can see. Yeah, but the counter not changed at this point. Yeah. This is the correct user, by the way. Let me check those users rejected could change for the other one. Yeah, by the way, this is for the current user. Probably the reason, the transaction not started, as we can guess. Yeah, and the event was not published in this case. Let's check this one. This one, it was not thrown in the application. Time entry event listener. What is wrong with you? Instance name one. So transaction required exception.
Okay.
No transaction is currently active, so this cannot create a new one, but you can declare this one explicitly. Yeah, please start a new transaction, so everything is going to work. Okay, so yeah, you're welcome. One more thing for today. One more thing for today. Yeah, it's about those tasks. I believe that I promised that I would upload them, the links, yeah, to the Slack channel. Let's stop the recording. Going to discuss this one, and I'm going to upload them, show you what we have as a practical tasks. Yeah, and then I'm going to share them in the Slack as well. Stopping the